Good good afternoon. I'm here with Celeste Evans of Safe Harbor Property Management. Hello, Celeste. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Nice to see you. I haven't talked to you in a while. We wanted to check in with you. I usually talk to Marie about some of these topics, but I wanted to ask you kind of your perspective since you're the one doing a little bit more of the day-to-day with the residents and the owners of Safe Harbor. Um, how is it going during this COVID-19 pandemic? What has been the change that you've noticed?
Well, being in the property management industry, you're used to change. So so I've been prepared in that respect just because it's an ever moving flow. But there
Sure.
has been change. Our offices for in-person contact, that's one of the biggest changes. We don't see our residents face to face as much, and then if they are face to face, half of it is covered. And
Yeah.
so yeah, so that connection that has changed a lot in the day to day, especially when rents time is comes around and everything. Yeah, that's been
So
different.
just not as much personal contact to resolve communication. And has it
Yeah.
been difficult collecting rent? Have you felt the pain of not being able to collect rent, or are you not involved in that side of the business?
I do some of that, working in that. There's kind of have my hands in a little bit of everything. So, there has been some individuals that were places that we manage that have certainly felt the hard hitting effects of the pandemic, and in respects to their employment, and their ability to pay. One of the things that we've done to help mitigate that is one, being in touch with a lot of the different services that are out there, and then connecting the individuals with those services. And that runs the gamut. We have people that are two or three income households that have had that hit them, to those who only have one person working, and they're paying thousands of dollars a month for a huge house. So it doesn't it this pandemic has hit everybody. It doesn't matter your financial status or what have you. It has affected. But one of the wonderful things that have been happening in the Pierce County especially, and also in King County too, is there's so many programs that have stepped up to assist individuals either with a partial payment, or with paying the whole thing, for them. And then we've had some um, individuals that have into some trouble, that all they needed was just a gap, and we've been able to connect them to programs that have been able to take care of that gap, and then now they're on track again. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've really been really happy to see that there's so many options for people, and that stress of taking care of one of your most important responsibilities, which is your rent, to alleviate some of that stress for them.
Yeah. I was talking to Marie of Safe Harbor about that exact thing, and I've talked to other clients. Just we've even pulled up the websites and shown the list of all the resources, because there's just, I don't know if Washington is unusual, but I just feel like we're so generous here. There's so many options for people to get help with their rent if they're struggling. And I think
Mhm.
the biggest breakdown is just the communication, that they're either afraid of, or they don't want to talk to their landlord, or I don't know what it is, but there's even organizations that are helping with that. So if they don't want to communicate with the
Yes.
landlord, they'll even help you do that. So
Yeah.
don't hesitate to go to the Safe Harbor website, safeharborrents.com, and look for resources. And there's a list there of organizations that you can contact the office directly. I've got the number rolling on the bottom here. Um, so you have felt a little bit of, you felt the pain of it, it sounds like, but you've been encouraged by the organizations that have been helping people, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, with anything, you have to adjust, um,
Right.
and then make a new plan. And
Sure.
as long as you remain fluid in that respect and stay on top of what new options there are, not
Yeah.
bury your head in the sand and just kind of keep
Right.
moving forward. And like you mentioned, communication has been our best asset when it comes
Yeah.
to our residents, and that's with the whole having having that close or constant communication when they could come into the office and work things out and everything, and having that kind of environment when we present a new thing to help them, there's trust there already built, and so we're
Yeah.
able to make the adjustment and they're able to get the assistance they need quickly, and get back on track and feel good about their situation and that they're able to fulfill their responsibility, and that's been nice to have that collaboration with our residents.
Yeah, and I think that's the payoff of just doing the right thing in normal business environments, right? If you're creating good relationships with owners and residents when there isn't a crisis going on, then when there is adversity, you kind of get to collect on that and have the benefit of knowing their first names, and it's not the first time you've ever talked to them. And so I think that's, just there's a principle there, I think, at play, where if you just, run your business tightly and well, in the normal seasons, that when things do hit, it's not as difficult, right, to get through. So, but again, you can call them directly if you're struggling to pay your rent, or if you're an owner and you're looking for resources for your residents, you can certainly call Safe Harbor or check out their website. And there's an owner section that talks about all the things that Celeste and her colleagues do for owners, and that might be something to read through as well. So, what else is going on? So difficulty paying rent. So I know there's also low inventory. So you've got
Yeah.
current residents that are struggling to pay rent at times, but what about people that are coming to you for a home? Um, are you able to provide for those needs, or what's going on with that?
A- Absolutely. And the percentage of those struggling is low in comparison to those who are paying their rent. And that's just essentially the hot topic right now is,
Yeah,
can the rents get paid? um, but um, but yes, low inventory is definitely a thing. We have a lot of like the 2-bedroom apartments, kind of your standard apartment 2-bedroom, but the houses of your 3 bedrooms and up, um, which usually go have a quick turnover, even in this time. The reason why we're out of them is because we rent them so fast. and
yeah,
um, and
mm,
the screening process is still just as uh, detailed and important now as it was prior. So um, we do find people that can afford, can still in their employment. Some industries are doing better because of this situation because you need them more, and so
yeah,
there's
sure.
yeah. So we do have anytime I put out a house, because I do the listings and things like that, anything I put out a house of any kind, those usually go really quickly.
So the houses are in more demand than the houses are in more demand, and there's probably fewer of them. But people are also looking for apartments, and you do have
Mhm.
apartments, it sounds like.
Yeah, we have apartments. We have some that are going up on our a 1 bedroom is coming on, and then we have a couple of 2 bedrooms. But when it comes to houses, people are staying in them, and then or the ones that we had on our market are being sold, and some of them sold out of our office here because we do that as well. And when they sell, we can't re-rent, them. And so we need
Right,
more. We
right.
need more houses. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm an owner and I want to sell in this market, you're happy to help them with that as well. So that's almost, I know that's on an upsurge because of what's going on. So it really is a real shift, isn't it? It's not just it is horrible what we're all going through as a community, but at the same time, it's been kind of amazing how people have kind of risen to the occasion. So And it's
Yeah,
created some business opportunities, that weren't there before.
exactly.
It's kind of interesting. So,
Yeah.
well, thank you, Celeste. It's nice to see you again. I'm sure it's nice for everyone to see your lovely face and know who they're talking to when they call and not meeting you for the first time. So we'll do this again occasionally, and it was good to get your perspective on the COVID thing. I know that you're doing a lot of day to day with residents and owners, and you're right there in the thick of it. So thanks again for your time, and we'll be talking to you again. Take
All right.
care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.